How's it going, gentlemen? Here we are, another day and another live stream. I've gone live about 30 minutes earlier today. I did plan for 8:30 because I wasn't sure I could make the 8 o'clock, but that's all right. We'll start earlier, and we're going to just keep going and continuing where we left off. So I thought I'd talk about probably the most important thing on this live stream today, and that's how to destroy anxiety and negative thinking or overthinking, because that's what everybody's struggling with on this channel, or certainly the majority of people at one stage or another. That's been my challenge. That's been my struggle through my story, through my ups and downs. But I've learned a hell of a lot, and I want to share that with you today because it's changed my life and it's continuing to change my life. And I'm confident 100% it can do the same for anyone who's willing to apply the life experience, the knowledge, and apply it in your own life. So I'm looking forward to today. Hit that like button if you're new, subscribe to the channel, and don't be shy. Let me know where you're coming from and how has your day been today. My day's been great today. I got up pretty early. Took a shower, then went to the boxing gym, put in a good session. It's great doing a session on Monday for me. It just kind of kickstarts the week. It takes away that feeling that you're not pushing yourself, and it makes me feel really energized. So I did that, came back, had another shower, had some healthy food, had some brown rice with tuna and sweet corn, water, and I've got a protein shake there, and I'll have a second meal tonight, another healthy meal, stir fry, chicken, veg, mushrooms, and rice again. And I did some YouTube videos today as well. So it's been a great day. It's been very action orientated, and that's what I want to talk about today as well, about habits, little things on a daily basis. So let me just double check the title. I think it's how to destroy anxiety and negative thoughts with momentum, because that's how you do it. I'm going to check my phone here. Got it here. Yeah, how to destroy your anxiety and negative thinking with momentum. Now, I'm going to explain what that is and take your questions as well as we go along. Be sure to share this live stream. Let me just share this out so we get more people coming on. Just give it a few more minutes. So if you've got any questions, put them in the chat. Hopefully the chat's working. Could one of you just comment on the chat just so I know that it is working? Because sometimes it doesn't work. Most of the time it does. So if one of you could just, I can type, if you can just comment in the chat. So I know that it's working on your end, because I don't want to do what happened last time, where I was talking, people were writing questions and I couldn't see it. And then when I clicked on a different setting, I had all these questions that didn't come up. All right, let me get started. Let's start, because these live streams also act as YouTube video for when people who might not come on the live stream live, they can watch it later on. Can one of you just comment so I know that it's working in the chat? See, I knew it did this. I knew one of you. It's working okay. It wasn't actually working. You see, I've had to. I've basically had to. I knew it was. I knew it was going to do that. It does this sometimes. It might be working on your side, but I can't see it. Okay, I've had to press another option. It's a bit annoying. Never mind. Okay, all right. Let's start off like this, right? So, if you're suffering with anxiety and negative thinking, let me just explain something that a lot of people don't know. So, basically, we understand anxiety is not a nice feeling, and fear and worry and stress, which it is, but actually, anxiety is energy. So a lot of people have got a lot of energy, but the energy, the energy can be pretty much anything you want. The energy, you can make the energy positive energy, or you can make it negative energy. But a lot of people don't know that. Making a YouTube, I don't know what's going on today. The internet is challenging. Hold on a second, guys. That's why I do these streams early sometimes, because you've always got to prepare for technical problems. They've been fine in the last few streams, but every once in a while this happens. So I'm kind of used to this. It's a bit annoying, but what can you do? Hold on a second. Okay, it's great. The chat's working. Hopefully, the internet will be fine. So the anxiety, you've got to use it, or it will use you. And like I said, a lot of people get stuck in it. Like, they have anxiety, but they don't do anything. So the first way that you can do something with it, and I keep saying this because it's so important, is joining the gym and going to the gym. I would say the best one is the boxing gym, personally, for me, through my experience, in terms of destroying your anxiety. If you go and train in the art of boxing, man, when you come out, you feel like a different person. And that carries on into the next day and the next day. Obviously, you've got to keep it up. You can't just do a boxing session once every month. You can't do it like that. You've got to be regular. You've got to do it at least twice a week. So I can't tell you, and I can't stress enough how important exercise is. And I'm going to keep saying it, even if people get bored of me saying it, because it will eventually get through to people, because it's changed my life. I've been training all my life, but since having a difficult period, I got myself back in the gym, and that's why I look good. I've lost weight. I'm fit. Yeah, you see, well, that's what I said earlier. Anxiety will be like a circle every day, and it will hold you back because you're not doing anything with it. And obviously, it's challenging for everybody, depending on what stage you're at. Because when you have it, when it's strong, it just kind of wipes you out. It kind of defeats you mentally and emotionally. But when you can start understanding, like a video game, when you're playing a video game, you get to a certain level where the boss is really difficult, and you keep dying, you keep losing. You don't know how to beat the boss. You're trying everything. But eventually, if you don't quit at the game, you figure out the technique. You figure out the right buttons to press at the right time, then you beat the boss. And anxiety is like that. Yes, the momentum is important, but I'm going to be straight, guys, right? I'm going to be honest. Most of you here you're not taking enough action. That's why you're here. You're here because you want to learn something new from somebody who is taking action, has got experience, and succeeded where you want to succeed. And I've also failed as well. I've been through the failures. So I wanted to educate you to begin with, and I'm going to explain a little bit more. So look, anxiety is energy. And if you don't use energy, energy is going to use you up. So let's say, for example, today you feel really, really stressed out. You're worrying about stuff, whatever is stressing you out in your life, work, relationships, finances, homework, schooling, university, or just everything stressing you out, right? You're just stressed. Now, when you're in that state, if you don't go and work out and exercise or socialize, it's going to get worse. So anxiety can be your best friend, or it can be your worst enemy. If you use it and you do something with it, it changes your life. So I guess what I'm learning is anxiety is good. if you know how to collaborate with it and use it. It's only bad when people sit with it and they don't do anything. And if you used to buy fruit, if you buy fresh fruit and veg, if you don't eat it within a certain amount of days, the fruit goes bad and it's no longer you can eat it, you'd be sick. Anxiety is the same. So exercising helps you to relax more, and with the exercising and with the relaxation and with the release that you get and the relief, that's what stops the overthinking. Because the overthinking and the negative thinking and the negative emotions, they all originate from all of the anxiety and the energy that you've got. So it's good to understand it, because if you can understand the obstacle that's in your way, then you can obviously learn how to overcome it. And that's the whole purpose of today's live stream and all the videos that I make. So now you understand it. Moving on to the next bit, this is what I want to talk about. You've got to have a reason. You've got to have a reason. Everybody's reasons are different as to why they want to face their fears. For some people, it's getting over social anxiety. For other people, it's overcoming past bullying. For other people, it's changing their job, traveling, or becoming a successful entrepreneur. So everyone's got their different reasons. And the reason why you need a reason, because if you haven't got a reason, if you haven't got a goal or a purpose or a why, then you're not going to be motivated to make any changes. You're not going to face your anxiety. And obviously, it's logical thinking that when something feels bad, I want to stay away from that. That's not nice. That doesn't feel good. But with anxiety, it doesn't work like that. If you want to improve, you've actually eventually got to face it. And it's through facing it that you find happiness again. You really do find yourself. You're more energized. So I'd ask all of you a question. And for those of you that come on this stream a little bit later on, when the video is uploaded, what's your reason? Like, what's your goal in life? What is it? What's your goal? What is it that you would like to achieve? And if you can't answer that, then that's going to explain why you've been struggling at the moment. So it's important, and even comment on the box below. And it doesn't matter what it is. It's nobody's business. Don't worry about what others think. Is it important to you? So like I said, for some people, it's finding love. It's finding the right life partner. For other people, it might be becoming financially free. For other people, it might be overcoming their anxiety because they just want to experience what it feels like to be a confident person. When I'm talking to a girl, why do I always want to escape? I think because of blood pressure. Well, you want to escape because the anxiety. When you're talking to a girl, you get triggered and you get that dose of anxiety, and that's human nature to begin with, to want to run. But through personal discipline and the things that I teach and share on this channel and on my 6 weeks program, you can learn how to deal with that feeling. So that's really why everyone's on this stream today, probably most of you, because they don't deal with anxiety very well because they don't know how to. They haven't got the motivation. So my goal is today to explain it to you, to educate you, so you understand how to do it. And then it's about you setting a goal. So I'm going to ask you guys a question again. None of you have answered still, which is fine. You don't have to, but it would help. What's your goal in life? What's your reason? We all need a reason to live. We all need a goal. Because if we don't have a goal and a reason, then life is really difficult. It's difficult anyway. But that doesn't mean that it can't be wonderful and you can't enjoy it. So the idea is that, well, in actual practice, is that your reason for succeeding becomes bigger than your fear of your own anxiety. Okay, great. My goal is to have more success and abundance with dating and overcome social anxiety around attractive women. Fantastic. Well, that's a great start, CJP, because now you have the goal. Now it's about the motivation to go towards it now. And this is the next question for you. I would ask you the question, I know what's holding you back, but maybe for you to admit it, what's holding you back at the moment from succeeding with your goal? And I want to make a point of saying, The biggest mistake people make with anxiety is in their mind thinking that they're going to overcome it all in one go, and you're not. It doesn't work like that. You have to gradually build the mentality. Limiting beliefs, we'll get to that. Appreciate the honesty. You have to build it, and it always starts with simple daily habits. Simple daily habits build confidence. They build discipline. They build that sense of, I can handle my challenges in life. How many of you feel right now at the moment that you can't handle the pressure of your own goals in life, or the fears, or your responsibilities? They're all kind of the same things that challenge men. Men feel intimidated and frightened by their own goals, responsibilities. And that's why I say, if you train in the art of boxing, the boxing will take care of your inability to be strong in your life and to face your anxiety and growth. It teaches you to do that, even without you even realizing. I've been doing it for years, so I can break it down. Yeah, limiting beliefs. I'm glad that you said that, because that's a huge part of anxiety. Anxiety can be triggered by limiting beliefs. So what happens, this is the general thought process of guys. They'll be sitting down wherever they are. They think about themselves and they think about their life, and they say, I'm not happy with who I am. I'm not happy with my life because I haven't achieved anything. And they'll compare themselves to somebody that they think's better than them or more successful. And then they think about being a failure their whole life, and they think about, oh, I'm never going to be able to get out of this situation. Of course you can. That's just limited thinking, limiting beliefs. And again, to combat limiting beliefs, you've got to build a strong mentality, and you've got to build self-esteem. And the only really way you can do that is by facing your fears. And like, I've broken it into two parts. Is socializing and exercising. If you do those two things regularly and you make it a habit, you make it become part of your personality, part of your lifestyle, then the anxiety is going to start going down. And you know what? The more you face anxiety, the more you get excited. See, that's what it is for a lot of guys. They don't have an incentive. They see it as it's going to be too difficult. It's going to be a waste of time. It's going to be too hard for me to face my anxiety. So I'd rather not face it, and I'd rather watch porn. Porn will give me some quick pleasure. It'll give me a release, or I'll eat some takeaway food or cakes. And obviously, that's not going to solve the problem. Escaping. So it really is about focus, and it's that's why I have these challenging conversations on this channel, because this is the conversation most of you are avoiding, which is why you're not happy and you're not successful, you're not achieving your goals, you're not building that momentum. That's good, man, but you got to keep moving on. Look, it's good that you took action the other day. Well done. But there's a lot more work to be done. You can't live in the past. It's like, okay, if you went gym yesterday and you're happy, that's great. It's good to be proud of yourself. It's good to look back on and say, well, I did this. But you've got to keep moving forward as well. You can't live on, in the past, because this is a long-term thing. It's a full-time job getting over anxiety. I'll say that again. It's a full-time job. Successfully getting over your anxiety. It takes a hell of a lot of discipline. It takes a really devoted person, a motivated person, a driven person. And that's why I come back to the question, what's your purpose for living? Now, what is it that you want to make of your life? And obviously, to get to a good bit in life, and this is something, again, that a lot of people, they're naive, they're asleep, they don't understand this. I try and wake them up, but you're not going to get to a good bit in life without going through the shit. You've got to go through rejection. You've got to go through days where you fail socially. You've got to go through the fears of other people judging you. You've got to work through pain. You have to. It's the only way. It's the only route. And if you look back in history and you see the great scholars and writers and I guess prophets and the great visionaries and scientists and creative people, if you know their stories, and usually they give you an honest account in their writing or their interviews, they had to go to hell and back to get to where they got to. So most of you don't want to do that. Most of you are lazy. You are bone idle. I'm just being honest. I'm trying to be completely honest to help you change your life. and that's how I am with myself in order to change my life. So laziness just won't do. Feeling sorry for yourself won't help. There's nothing wrong with being compassionate, and I'm being compassionate today in all the videos. I understand, but at the same time, if you feel sorry for yourself, then no one cares really. Only your family and your close friends. But when you care for yourself, it's kind of weird. Other people start caring. So, you really got to care for yourself. You really got to value yourself. You really got to, want the best for yourself and do the right habits. And, that's why you need a goal in life. And I just look at all different successful people. I study my life as well. And I look at their habits. I look at the things that they say, their mindset. And they all pretty much say the same thing. They all say that they had a goal in their life. They had a dream. And that goal and that dream motivated them. So motivation is so important. We can't leave that out. It's probably the most important thing. You've got to be super motivated. 110%. Excuse me. Let me get some water for you guys. You've got to be motivated on a daily basis, on an hourly basis if you want to succeed. And that's why I say, if you want to be successful in dating, if you want to be successful in business, if you want to be successful at overcoming anxiety, social anxiety, it's a full-time job. You can't do it part-time. If you do it part-time, you're going to get part-time results, which they're not going to be good enough for most of you. And if you want full-time results, you've got to do it full-time. And this may sound gruesome, because this is my style of speaking, very direct and straight to the point. But it's actually amazing when you start living like this. Like every day I get up, I'm excited. It's exciting when you become fearless and you're not living in fear all the time. Like you're honest about your fears. You're not projecting them, you're owning them, and you're facing them. And for every fear you face, you grow as a person. Your consciousness grows. You grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally. New opportunities open up to you that were never there before. New friendships, new business ideas, so many things. What's up, man? What's up, Fred even, mate? Up at 3 a.m, worked, come home, feeling tired, still went to the gym. And that's it. That's what you got to be dedicated. So a lot of the times we've got to do things when we don't feel like it. I don't always feel like doing these live streams, but I do really enjoy them when I do them. I hold myself accountable to all of you. I wouldn't be able to motivate so many people and motivate myself if I just, don't do it. So I hope all of you can really hear this message and it can really move you, because I can't force you, obviously. I can only teach, share this stuff. It will move you to change your life. Because, my story is living proof that anybody who has anxiety and social anxiety can become successful. I did it when so many people said I couldn't do it. And for a time, I thought I couldn't. But once I started taking action and did it full time and practicing and training, and it's all about the training down the gym, the training of your goal setting, your visualizations, your socializing, and the practice of being kind to other people, which is also a full-time job, because it's not an easy thing to do all the time for a lot of people, for most people. So that's why I wanted you to understand the mindset. Hit that like button, guys, if you're enjoying this. We can get some questions. Yeah, you constantly have to push yourself when your mind wants to sit down, because human nature is to resist change and to not want to face things and to not feel like doing things. If we did everything our human nature told us, we wouldn't leave our house. We wouldn't want to get out of bed. We wouldn't want to do anything. So that's why you need a goal that gets you off your backside every day and motivates you and gives you joy and satisfaction. And believe it or not, there's a misconception. People think that discipline and being disciplined and dedicated and motivated and hardworking, people think that's miserable. Like that's going to be really, really gruesome and it's going to be but it's not. That's what makes you a man. And that's what makes you happy. That's what helps you to achieve amazing things. Financially, mentally, emotionally, friendships, personal development, fitness, gym. It's hard work, and most people, like not everybody, most people on this channel, I guarantee you don't train hard enough in the gym. If I was to see your workouts and actually be honest, I would be like, you don't work out properly. And you might say, well, what do you mean I do work out? I'd say it's not intense enough. Like you're not losing enough weight from doing it, or you're not toning up, or you're not getting fitter. And for those of you that are doing it, I don't need to apologize because brilliant, you're doing it already, but many people are not. So you got to be real with yourself. You can't just be like, oh, everything's fine. And yeah, I let myself off the hook and I just feel sorry for myself. Because I tried that years ago and that puts you into a very dark place. So it's not being unkind to people. I'm not being like hard and stuff. It's just, it's for the best. You do have to toughen up to overcome this because it's challenging, but you can do it. Like I said, when you play a video game when you're younger, everybody's played video games, right? Who hasn't played video games? Let me know in the chat. And if you have played video games, what was your favorite video game growing up? I loved I loved a lot of the games. Sonic the Hedgehog, Crash Bandicoot, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, FIFA. So many games I like, but there was a certain point on the game where the baddie was very difficult and you die straight away and it's frustrating and it feels like, how can I beat this boss? Like as soon as you start, boom, he just doesn't move and you're dead. But after a while, you figure it out. And once you figure it out, the puzzle's so solved. It's no longer difficult anymore because you know how to do it. And anxiety is the same. Social anxiety, anxiety in general, fear. Once you understand the process and once you've gone through the process and you've got the confidence and the growth, it's brilliant then. So all I'm trying to say to everyone is if you guys can go through the tough period where you got to push yourself and face your fears, you're going to be happy. Your life is going to be changed. What's up, Zelda? Oh, sorry, Zelda. George, I know you. I called George Zelda. He said his favorite game was Zelda. I thought his name was Zelda. Sorry. I got passionate then. And this is not vodka I'm drinking. I'm drinking water, by the way. Yeah, that's a big part of overcoming anxiety. There's a lot of repeating. There's a lot of habitual habits that you've got to repeat again. But I find most of them pretty fun. And I'm trying to motivate people and excite them that most of this is actually fun, which is why I've always said you've got to enjoy the process, because when you enjoy the process, you don't complain about it. Another thing that I have to mention, again, failure, rejection. Most people don't want to hear those words. It's like, if I told most people I can help you to become successful in your life in pretty much any area, but you got to go through failure, pain, and rejection to be like, I don't want to do it. And that's why they don't succeed. Where my mindset's different. My friends' mindsets are different. Some of your mindsets are different. Some of your mindsets still need to change if you want to be successful and overcome your anxiety. In order to build momentum, you've got to go through failure and rejection in any area of life. Rejection is good for you long term because it teaches you that life is precious and it's going to it challenges everybody, and everything could be going well and all of a sudden it can come crashing down. But how are you going to respond? And you can respond in a positive way, in a strong way, and rebuild again, or you can let it break you. So you can. There's two ways to respond to anxiety. One is to let it break you and frighten you and stop you from living your dreams. Or another way is to go, you know what? Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, it's overwhelming. Yeah, I'm afraid of this and that and the unknown, but I'm going to take the challenge on. I want to grow. I want to be a better person. I want to break out of my limited thinking. And I want to break out of the negative conversations and opinions and judgments and expectations that other people have had over me all throughout my life, or for a big portion of my life when I was younger. Because most guys are still grappling with the past. They haven't let go of it. And that's what's causing them anxiety. That's a good attitude to have. I hope you're living by that. Interview. Rejection helps me find a better job. Yeah, speaking of interviews, one of you asked me yesterday to make a video, and I'm going to make a video on that, how to get over the fear of interviews. And you got to get excited and inspired by failure. Most people in society today are asleep. They don't even understand this. It's too far beyond them, and obviously that's their choice. I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, because they usually think they think someone like me is nuts, or I'm weird, or I'm strange, and maybe I'm a little bit weird, but I follow my heart. I don't follow the opinions of what other people think. And obviously within that, I still really respect people. So rejection and failure and pain are the building blocks to success. If you want to talk about, let's go into financial freedom, you're going to have to go through pain, suffering, rejection, and to get to the sweet spot. Let's talk about dating, meeting the right person, falling in love, having a beautiful relationship, connection. You're going to go through pain, you're going to go through suffering, you're going to go through self-doubt, you're going to go through some torture, you're going to get rejected, you're going to hurt, you're going to hurt again, you're going to be heartbroken. And if you don't quit, then your heart's going to be fixed. Then you're going to meet a great person, or you're going to be in a position where you have abundance in your dating life. So I like to have these conversations because it's real reality. And if you don't have these conversations, then you're always going to be stuck in a rut. You're going to be in a rut forever. George says, I've been putting off turning down a job offer for days due to anxiety of letting them down. I finally did it today and felt better. Well done. And that's a really crucial part, George, that I've said. You feel better when you face things. Sometimes you've got to say no. Sometimes you've got to say yes. You've got to face that fear. You can still be decent. So it's all those things. It's facing things. And that's what anxiety is about. A lot of people, they shy away from it. They don't want to face it. They don't want to do a public talk. They don't want to ask someone out. They don't want to sell. People are afraid of selling today. That's been a generational fear. And you need to learn to sell. It's an important skill to have, because you're buying every single day. You go into Starbucks, you buy something, you pay your bills, you buy food, you buy alcohol, and they're selling to you. So why is it bad for you to learn to sell? So you can improve your finances, so you can live a better life. Or it's not always about selling financially, it's learning to sell yourself in a job interview, to show your personality. So, it really is about courage. And like I said, the best place to start to gain this courage and confidence and clarity and wisdom is the boxing gym. I keep saying it, and it's such a simple thing, isn't it? When you say to someone, most of your problems could be solved by you training in the boxing gym. And you don't need to fight, you don't need to get punched in the face. If that's what you're scared of, you just got to be in that gym doing the training, hitting the heavy bag, skipping, shadow boxing, all of the things that most people know. And if you don't know, be curious, go down to a gym, and they're good people, you're in a good environment. You cannot train boxing regularly and it not change you as a person, make you a better person, make you more courageous, more confident, more understanding, and someone that can handle anxiety and stress a million times better. Next thing I want to talk about, which is really important, is accountability. A lot of people are not accountable, so they don't write down their goals. They don't continue to write goals down. Like a lot of people, for example, if they want to make more money or want to get a relationship, I write all my goals down. I write my short-term goals and I write my long-term goals, and then I take the action towards those goals, and then I check back a few weeks later, go, oh, I achieved that goal, great. I achieved that goal. Oh, I haven't achieved that one yet. Things like this are so important, for lowering anxiety, destroying it. And like it says on the title, no clickbait with my titles, momentum destroys anxiety and negative thinking. When you're busy doing your goals and taking action and doing positive things and living a better life, you ain't got time. You haven't really got time to think negative. You're so in the flow of things. You're so present. You're so focused that time just really flies by. And that's a wonderful thing. And that's when you can really start enjoying life. But when you're not building momentum and you're not focused on a goal, and you don't have a goal, and you're not motivated and you're not inspired or empowered, then all you're doing is sitting around thinking negative thoughts and worrying about things. So it's focusing on something. And a lot of people make the mistake of focusing on 50 things but they don't pick one thing to do. So it's better to pick one thing and just go, right, that's what I'm going to focus on. And that's what I'm going to use to overcome my anxiety. So I'm going to focus on improving my diet for however long it takes. And when I progress with that, then I can move on to the next goal. Then I can focus on improving my relationships with women. And then when I've done that, I will focus on improving my relationships with my finances and my business, or starting a new business. So I like Les Brown's saying. Les Brown says, you don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started to become great. So basically saying the same things that I've been saying for years, that you got to start, you got to take action. And the excuses that anxiety will make, and people will, they will paraphrase that is, it's not the right time yet. That's always excuses. In most cases, sometimes, that timing is important, but majority of the time, that's an excuse to get out of it. Or I'm too busy, or I'm too tired. All excuses. There's 24 hours in a day. You can sleep 8 hours, or you can sleep 7 or 9. Then you've got the rest of the hours to set goals and take action. Dick Valentine's got a question. He says, do you think you're better focusing on women in your 20s rather than leave it to your 30s? There's no right or wrong answer there, Dick. It really depends. How could I answer that? It's such a broad question. Everybody's different. Everyone's at different stages. So there's no really right or wrong answer. It's not right or wrong whether you focus on women in your 20s or 30s. I guess it's what's important to you. And like you said, it comes down to what are your priorities, because your priorities will be different to my priorities and the next person. So it's really about what's important to you. And this is where, look, let me explain something, Dick. This is part of anxiety, what people have. This happens to guys a lot, people in general, right? They can't make a decision. So in their mind, it's like, oh, do I focus on women? You got to pick. You got to decide what feels right for you. If you follow your heart will tell you. But a lot of people are scared to follow their heart. They listen to their head too much. So make a decision, Dick, what you're going to focus on. George says, I'm glad I got out of a bad relationship, out of the way in my early 20s. Yeah, it can be a great learning curve. I think everybody, there might be some people that are fortunate, but everybody has a bad relationship, at least one in their life or several. And although they're not nice, it can actually be a blessing in disguise, and actually can change your life. I know I've had them, and it helped me to change and to have better relationships. Yeah, that's one of the big challenges I see. I see it today, all a generational challenge, but especially on my platform, is people can't make decisions. You guys can't make decisions for yourself. You don't know what to do. You're like, should I go uni, or should I set my own business up? Should I pursue looking for a woman or a wife? And being a man, is part of that, is being able to make decisions. And obviously some decisions take a little bit longer than others. You can make some decisions in 10 minutes. Obviously, if you're buying a new house, then it might be wise to take a little bit more time. But at some point, you've got to go, right, I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. You can't predict the future. There's a lot of uncertainty in life. But you just got to make a decision and take a risk. You've got to take a risk. You got to take, I would say, calculated risks. But nonetheless, if you want to be happy and move forward in life in any area, then you've got to take risks, because if you don't take a risk, you're just going to stay where you are. And I always say that to people. Do you want to stay where you are because that's your choice, or would you like to move forward in your life? Would you like to move and things to be different, things to be better for you, things to be new? It's your choice. What is it going to be? So just to backtrack and simplifies what I said. Well done, George. Just to backtrack what I said, this is how you destroy anxiety and negative thinking with momentum. So obviously to build the momentum, you need a goal to start with. So my first question to any of you watching this who've got anxiety is, what is your goal in life? Or if you've got 3 goals, that's brilliant. What is your dream? Really the same thing. Goals, dreams, what is your purpose? What is your why? Write it down on a piece of paper, say it out loud, visualize every single day, focus on it so that you're not getting out of it. You're not letting fear distract you and take your focus off of something else. Once you've got your goal, write it down on paper and devise a strategic action plan as to how you're going to go about achieving that goal. So as an example, if your goal is to lose weight and you want to lose 10 pounds, how are you going to do that? Well, obviously you're going to have to go to the gym and work out. You need a regime. What regime are you going to use to lose weight? An example, you can use boxing, probably one of the best ones out there for losing weight, which is why you see boxers go from chubby to skinny and ripped and in shape. Boxing would obviously be how you do it, and also improving your diet, having more of a disciplined diet. And you start small, obviously. You start off by doing a workout on Monday, getting a little bit of a feel and some positive energy going. And then you'd say, okay, on Monday today, I'm not going to eat 4 meals. I'll cut down. I'll have 3 meals instead. So we've already got started now. And now you feel better because you're taking action. You're building momentum. And then the week later, you say, you know what? I'm going to push myself a bit further in the gym, and I'm going to be more strict with my diet. So maybe I'm going to replace alcohol or fizzy drinks with water and coffee or tea. So it's like a gradual thing. You're changing bad habits and you're actually forming good habits. And it's good habits that lead to you destroying your anxiety. So the more momentum you build with the effort and the action and the energy that you put into going towards your goal, the less anxiety you're going to experience. And a lot of people experience severe anxiety because they're unfulfilled in their life. They've never achieved their goals. They've never even been able to face that fear and be honest with themselves. Honesty is really important as well. That's an important factor of all this. If you can't be honest with yourself, then you're never going to destroy your anxiety, because we can't alleviate honesty and the truth, because if you can't be honest, then how are you going to get to a point of happiness and peace? And for some people, that's going to take time. All of this actually takes time. But the mindset has to change. The original mindset most people have is, if something takes long, I don't want to be a part of it. It's too difficult. It's too hard. It's too gruesome. It's a waste of time, or I'm not bothered to do it. That's a really shitty attitude to have. And being honest, it'll get you nowhere in life. All it will get you is depression, bad diet, bad mindset, negative toxic energy. That's what it will get you. I tried that. It doesn't work. The new mindset would be, okay, I'm human. Yeah, I'm intimidated. I'm scared. There's nothing wrong with that. I know it's going to be a lot of work. I know I'm going to have to go through a lot of pain, suffering. I know I'm going to have to wake up spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I'm going to have to wake up and be able to be more aware of myself, more self-awareness, be more present, more aware of what's going on around me, more positive, more open to change, try new things, challenge myself, work hard. But when you accept that mindset, your life is already changed, because it's the way that you think is what makes the difference in how your life's going to be. Okay, next we're going to talk about consequences. This is what I learned about it. Tough lessons, man. It's what life taught me. It's not even what I taught me, it's what life taught me in having anxiety, but being able to succeed with it and make it my best friend instead of allowing it to be my worst enemy. Hit that like button if you're getting a lot out of this. And anytime you want, guys, you can leave a question and I'll do the best I can to answer it. And you can share, anything that you want to share or what you're feeling. So consequences, let's talk about the consequences. So there's consequences if I isolate myself and I don't go out and socialize with people because I allow my anxiety to dominate my thinking and keep me stuck. There's consequences for that. What are those consequences? A poor mental health, more unhappiness, more anxiety, and not enjoying life. Not good, right? And if you continue doing that, the consequences could be even worse. Now, there's opposite consequences. There's positive consequences as to me feeling my anxiety, being scared to death at times, which we all feel, myself included, but going ahead with it and facing it. After, like you said earlier, George, you feel fantastic. You feel more confident. You've just proved to yourself that despite your fears and your anxieties and your limiting beliefs and your negative thoughts and your social fears, that you can go and meet a group of people and have a great time with them. I always say most times if you treat people how you want to be treated and you're kind and you're honest and you're not a manipulative, nasty person, you're going to do all right. Most people are going to like you and you're going to get on with people. So I always think about that. That motivates me. Same for anything in life, in business. If you want to make money, there's consequences of not building a business, not trying, not getting leads, not getting potential clients, not selling, not giving value. There's consequences. Consequences, you make no money. But when you take action and you learn how to give value and you understand the basics of business and the market, and the basic is that if there's a demand and you've got you can solve a problem through your product or your service or your experience, then people are going to pay you for it. And business is really about learning to connect with people, build relationships, and help them to solve a problem. But in order to do that, you've got to face your fears. You've got to face your anxiety. So this is why I'm so passionate about this subject, because any direction you want to go in life, you're not going to avoid it. You're not going to avoid it. You're going to bump into it. So you might as well learn about it. And that's why it took me many years to realize it, but I made it my best friend. Usyk, I prefer Usyk. I'm not really a fan of Anthony Joshua. Can't knock what he's achieved. He's achieved a lot, and he's a role model. But I'm not really a fan of him. I prefer Usyk, and I did feel a little bit sorry for Joshua though. He really got beaten, and he really got a boxing lesson. But you got to give him credit. At least he had the guts to fight Usyk. But yeah, I just think Usyk's amazing. Obviously, I'm a bigger Tyson Fury fan. Now, if Fury fights Usyk, I'll be cheering for Fury. But Usyk's just brilliant, man. But look, speaking of Usyk and Joshua, these guys are brave. They're living examples of people that face their anxiety. So it's really about, Les Brown said it years ago when I used to listen to his material, his work, his talks, his motivational talks. He's like, you got to program your mind. I think Canelo's going to win, but I think Caleb Plant is going to give him a good fight. Yeah, boxers are humans, right? So when you say boxers have demons, though, everybody does. A boxer's a boxer. They have a skill, they have a profession. But when they come out of doing that, they're just people like us. Same way a doctor's a doctor, a lawyer's a lawyer. Everybody's got demons. George says he's got anxiety about being strange or being boring when he meets people and he wants to hang out with them. I'm losing out on potential friends. Any tips to psych myself up? Gym, George. Training. If you did martial arts or you trained boxing, if you'd done some intense training, weight training, you did it regularly, it would change that. That would psych you up. So exercise will psych you up to go out and break through your social fears and overcome, feeling like you're boring and all these, limiting beliefs that you're having. And having a purpose in life, George. What's your goal? What motivates you in doing that? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, boxers are one of the best examples of people that push for adversity. 100%. That's why so many people are drawn to watching boxing. It really does attract people from all different walks of life. I think anybody that is challenging themselves in life is a living example for other people to do the same in their life if they want to do that, obviously. So yeah, you've got to have a really tough mindset to be successful. Like I said, so the good thing, right? Like I said, I'm learning this at the moment. Anxiety is like currency. If you use it in the right way, you can become rich. You can change people's lives. Anxiety is energy, and anxiety is the very ink that an artist needs to paint a canvas or a landscape. But obviously, if you don't use the anxiety is going to use you. It's going to use you and abuse you. And that's what it does if you don't use it. It stays in you. It talks bad to you, has bad thoughts, bad vibes. It has horrible emotions. I know. I speak from experience. But if you use it and you go gym and you take action and you push yourself and you obviously when I'm talking about all this stuff, it can sound selfish, but it's not. You can go out and be kind and help so many people, and that can be another way of getting rid of your anxiety. That's how I built a successful business, a global following. I had so much anxiety and fear and pain and hurt, and I channeled it into positive things like these talks and things like that, and changed people's lives. Yeah, I thought Billy Joe Saunders stood a good chance at the time, but Canelo proved to be just too good for him, like he has been for most of the fights he's fought. But I like Billy Joe; he's got great ability. I really wanted him to win, but he didn't win. But at least he tried, right? And I think that's what we're talking about today. Is that listen, if you fail, there's no shame in that. But as long as you tried, for me, there's a huge shame in not trying. So that's why you've got so many keyboard warriors and haters who hide behind their own unhappiness and they like to judge other people that are succeeding or when they fail, but they're not doing anything in their own life. And that's always a sign of a weak person who is judging other people and being negative because they're going after their dreams, but they're not doing it in their own life. Usually positive people don't do that. So some good lessons today, guys. Well, I'll tell you what, you guys have done well to stay on because this is a really challenging talk that I'm doing today. It's very thought provoking. It will really challenge your ego, your character. But that's the only way to be better in life, to be around people that are going to be more honest and frank and going to challenge you, not in a negative way, but to make you be better in your life. So well done to all of you for staying on for this length of time and listening to what I've got to say. And I appreciate your honesty and openness about what you're struggling with. My goal is to keep educating, helping and teaching people to move forward in their life when they've got anxiety so they can keep growing. That's good. It's good. Dick, if you can learn anything from Mayweather, anything positive, or anyone for that matter, and apply it in your own life, that's being smart. And the reason why, I'm just being honest, my energy is really on point is because I've been training a lot. I'm trying to be a leading example to other people. I'm fit. I'm energetic. My mind is sharp. I'm confident. I'm feeling great, and I want things to continue that way for myself and all of you. I've been going to the gym regularly and doing these live streams and being accountable. So if you do difficult things today, life will be easier tomorrow. But it's not the other way around. People think, well, I'm going to do easy things today, and I'm going to expect tomorrow to be amazing. It don't work like that. I saw a little bit of the clip with Diaz. Is it Nick Diaz? He's come back years. He's been out. I saw a bit of his fight, and it was good. Those guys are, even though Nick's been out, you could still see he's past his best, but he's still good. You almost could see that he could have been great, but I don't really know what happened. I don't know much about the UFC. I know little bits, what my brother told me, and but yeah, is it Nick Diaz? I think you got Nick and Nate, and he lost, but I thought he was good. He was great the way he was fighting. He had a hell of a lot of heart. Those guys. Okay, moving on to the next bit. a lot of anxiety as well is the strength to, when you hear those negative thoughts that tell you that you can't do it, you're not good enough, it's not going to work out, you're not enough, you don't know enough, you don't deserve it. You hear all these types of negative, abusive things, and it's like, I'm going to hear it, but I'm not going to identify with it. I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to let that really get into my spirit, my heart, and make me feel defeated. I'm going to rise above it. So when your mind and your anxiety and the voice of anxiety and negative thoughts are saying that, well, you're not good enough to get a girlfriend, you're not enough, a woman wouldn't want to date a guy like you. You're like, I don't know, I know I'm good enough, and I will meet a great woman, and she will date a guy like me. And you keep working on yourself, you beat it. Or when the anxiety says, oh, you can't make money, you're poor, and it's not able to do it, it's too difficult, you don't deserve it, you can't do it. You listen, but you don't identify. You go, I am going to make money, I'm a good person. There's millions of pounds in the world, and everybody should be entitled and free to make money. It's not everything, but it's a tool that obviously we all need to get by in life. And I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to learn how to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to learn how to give value to people and help them, and I'm going to get paid for it. See how I challenge the voice. That's the kind of fight that everybody has to have if they want to win with this anxiety. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not really that interested, if I'm being honest, about YouTubers and the stuff. There's some positives in it, and if it's something that you guys like, but personally for me, I think they're great examples again of people that are living their dreams. But yeah, I'm not really that excited about the YouTubers fighting different people. I prefer watching real experience fighters. But good luck to those guys from the standpoint of what we're talking about today. People that are challenging themselves, making money. They inspire a lot of people, and I have to admire that. So yeah, with the anxiety, you've got to challenge your negative beliefs about yourself, and I know that the beliefs are really, really strong because they've been formed since we were kids, and they continue for all of your life until you challenge them. And even when you challenge your limiting beliefs and you overcome them and you succeed financially or in your business or with getting the right relationship or inspiring people or as a YouTuber or a boxer or a fighter, they still come back. That's what's really fascinating about this. And even Les Brown said it the other day. He said that, negative thinking and negative thoughts and emotions and behaviors, he says, if you don't continue, working on yourself, they will come back. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Didn't want to hear that. I thought you were. I thought things were going really well for you. But look, I was just saying to the guys today, this can happen in life. It happens to all of us, and it's tough sometimes. And that's why you need strong people to help you and encourage you. I'm sorry that happened. Really, I'm sorry. I've been through it. It's not nice. But listen, man, you're a great guy. You'll bounce back and you'll meet somebody else. But I'd say with these sort of things, you probably know already, you're intelligent. It takes time, to just kind of heal from that. But yeah, I'm glad my videos can help, especially as I've been through it myself quite a few times. I said it early on this talk that, it's not being negative, it's just being honest that in life we're all going to get heartbroken. All of us are, and probably by now all of us have had our heart broken, whether it's been by a woman or a person or life, but it's how you come back. Phoenix, hey Johnny, I was just wondering, what was your biggest challenge is in your life that you've been through? How did you overcome them? Well, I'd say my two biggest challenges of my life, the first one was me becoming successful, and that's a whole long journey, and that was being successful as an entrepreneur, getting a girlfriend, getting over my chronic anxiety and shyness, inspiring people. That's the first part of my life, and that was very challenging for me at the start because I had nobody, no one said, "I believe in you. You're great. You can do it." Everybody put me down most of the time, right? That's what happened, and I had to work very hard and listen to motivational speakers like Les Brown, and then I became successful, and that was challenging. But my biggest challenge to date was going through a mental health breakdown in 2017, which just tore my whole life apart, put me to rock bottom in a dark place. But I've come back from that now, and it's been a real challenge. How I did it through personal discipline, through fitness, and that's kind of how I did it in both chapters. To answer your question, Phoenix, I used boxing and martial arts and weight training to get my mind right and get my self-esteem good. And once I got myself to that place, I set goals of what I want to do in my life, and then I went after them. So I basically did it by facing my fears. And the way that I psyched myself up to face my fears in my life and my challenges was through personal discipline and fitness. And obviously later on, I met great people. I met great clients around the world. I met like my new friends that encouraged me, that inspired me. And now I have all of you great people to talk to. So in a nutshell, that's how I did it. That's how I've done it. And there's been my challenges. And I've had my heart broken. Exactly what's happened to Backgam and all of us at some point. I had it a couple of times. It was really hard, especially the first time when I was young, when I was like 20, 22. I met a girl, I fell in love. She changed her mind and she didn't want to be with me anymore. And it crushed me at that time. I was very inexperienced. And it made me feel like I wasn't good enough. And then I had to go on a journey and heal myself and figure myself out and get more confidence and then be better later on. So that's the question answered. Thanks, man. I appreciate love. Sometimes you learn about yourself by losing. So true, man. Sometimes you learn more about yourself and that learning experience goes on to give you bigger successes than sometimes when things come easy and you're successful. Life is very complicated. It depends on your perspective. It can be easy and beautiful and great, but it can be a nightmare as well. But that's why we need people to help each other and encourage each other. What triggered your mental health breakdown? How did you come back from it? I don't know what triggered it. I can't answer that question. And the doctors didn't know either. The experts didn't know. All I know is it happened. And how I've come back from it, it's taken me about 4 years. Really, it was an aggressive one. Is through, like I said, through fitness, through boxing and socializing. Obviously, I've got a very loving, supportive family. Without them, they helped a lot. But I still had to do things myself. So I really had to work on myself, CJP. I had to take responsibility. I had to start over again. I had to face my social fears again. YouTube. So I just took a lot of action and did it gradually. And I'm still in that process now, but in a much better place. Thanks for your question. I think that's why it's so important today when you've been through something to share it, because when you share it with other people, it makes people feel better about what they're going through and it gives people hope and it gives them the strength. I just heard a quick clip from Tyson Fury before I'd done this live stream, and he said, this is what he said. He said, my life has been a roller coaster journey. And he said, life is a roller coaster of ups and downs. And he said, but I am living proof. Tyson Fury said this. I'm living proof that any person can come back from anything as long as they, have got the desire to. They can come back from anything and succeed. So if they have a marriage divorce, they can come back from that. A mental health breakdown, they can come back. If they lose a boxing match, they can come back. If they have a big financial loss, they can come back. So comeback stories are great, man. Everybody's got value. Everybody can tell the next person something that they've been through and the lesson that they learned. And my story obviously is different to Tyson Fury's story, but it's very similar. I'm not a boxer and he's not a teacher and a YouTuber, but we're both human beings and we both had mental breakdowns and we both come back from it. So that's my story to anyone. Anybody can come back from mental health challenges or anxiety if they're willing to apply the things that Fury did, I did, and many others did, and a lot of that is through having a routine in life and having fitness in your life, training. Bruce, I love this Batman, the Batgam and the Batman. We've got some wisdom coming. And honestly, guys, I know this is, look, sometimes if you watch a Batman movie, it really bring you up. Bruce, why do we fall? I'm waiting for the answer. I see. That's very interesting, inspiring what you've been through. And I'm glad there are people like you who wish to help others through facing their challenges as much as they have. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm grateful that there are people like you that are willing to hear my story and appreciate it. And if it can help you to fix your story or improve it or in any way, then we all do a great service to one another. You just reminded me as well, Phoenix, a great way of getting over anxiety and reducing it is storytelling. It's having the courage to tell your story. Les Brown said the same thing to me that I'm going to say to all of you years ago, and I didn't feel worthy at that time. Les Brown said, "You've got a story in you. You've got a story that could transform people's lives. You've got greatness in you." But back then, when I was young, I said, "No, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. My story's not good enough. I have nothing to offer." But when I challenged that later on, it wasn't true. I had a lot to offer and I had a good story and it changed a lot of people's lives. So all of you have got a story and all of you have been through something that was challenging that you overcome that you could tell the next person that would really help them. Good to see you, Graph Half. Gravity. Okay, that was pretty funny. I don't think that was the answer in the Batman film. Right, guys, we're coming near the end. I think I said pretty much everything I wanted to say. That was a long one there. There's a lot of bits you can take. I'd recommend anyone watching this stream, because there's a lot of things said, just to break it up into simple steps, because I've said a lot over the course of this hour and a lot of you have added to that. Get a pad of paper and just write down the bits that are most important and just kind of go over them again. The first question you want to ask yourself, if you want to destroy your anxiety with a lot of momentum, is what's my purpose for doing this? What do I want to achieve in my life? Who do I want to be in my life? And you'll figure it out. Once you've figured it out, write it down. And then you've got the motivation. Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to go after this goal? And you can have your own personal reasons. Some will say to overcome my past, the bullying, to inspire people or to become a successful artist or a boxer or whatever it is that you want to achieve. And then start to slowly face your fears on a daily basis. Get down the gym, get a routine, train, improve your diet, learn, get mentors, get teachers. And you can do it. By the way, guys, if any of you are interested in working with me on my 6 weeks program, I've got several different programs. I've got a program which specializes just in dating coaching. If you need help to improve your dating life, I've got a program especially designed for that. I've also got a program which is designed for what we've spoken about tonight, anxiety. It can be done over Skype or Zoom if you feel more comfortable doing it like that, or it could be done in person. Now, I'm doing free Zoom call. If you want to understand more about my coaching, I can understand if I can help you or not, what your problems are, what your goals is, you can email me and we can schedule a Zoom call for 40 minutes. And during that time, I can have a conversation with you, find out more about what you're struggling with, what you want to achieve, and whether or not you would be right for my program would be right for you. So it's a consultation, it's free. Obviously, if we went ahead and did the coaching, that's going to be paid. And at the moment, I've been planning to get back to work. So I'm aiming for December. That's a goal that I've set. And it might be a bit longer than that. It might be January, but I'm pretty confident I'll be back, hopefully taking on paid clients from December. So from now till then, you can email me and we can set up a consultation and have that 40-minute conversation, find out how we can help you to move forward in your life. Because if you've got anxiety, it might be holding you back from going to the gym, changing jobs, getting a relationship, and many other things. And I can help you with that. All right, guys, appreciate your support. Like, share, subscribe. Plenty more videos to come. I hope you got a lot out of this, and I'll see you next one. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. Thanks for listening to me, and I always enjoy these streams. And let the journey continue. All right, remember, become fearless.